Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, WTI Fund X Incorporated just filed an 8K report detailing their shareholder meeting results, and I'm seeing a very unusual voting dynamic. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. What is fascinating here is how a single shareholder controls everything, and the details of how that control is exercised are quite telling. So what we have here is a Form 8K, which is basically a report for significant events that a public company has to tell the Securities and Exchange Commission about, or the SEC, pretty much right away. In this case, the main event is the annual shareholder meeting of WTI Fund X Incorporated. This meeting happened on May 2026. Okay, so let's get straight to the important stuff. At this shareholder meeting, there were two main things on the agenda. One was electing 4 members to the board of directors. These individuals are Spiro C. Lazarakis, William R. Miller, Jorgan Perkins, and David R. Wanek. The second item was to ratify, which means to approve or confirm the appointment of Deloitte and Touch LLP as the company's independent registered public accounting firm. This is the company that checks the company's financial books to make sure everything is on the up and up for the fiscal year ending the 31st of December 2026. Now here is where it gets interesting. Normally you'd have many shareholders voting, but for WTI Fund X, there is only one shareholder. That shareholder is WTI Fund X LLC, or the LLC, and the LLC has only one shareholder, which is another group of members. These members have what is called pass-through voting rights. What that basically means is that the LLC, as the owner of the company, cannot make any big decisions without first getting the approval of these members. Think of it like a parent company making decisions but needing approval from the owners of that parent company. So for the directors to be elected, the members of the LLC had to approve them. And for the accounting firm to be approved, the members of the LLC also had to give their okay. These approvals needed a majority or at least half of the voting power from those LLC members. Let's look at the voting results for the directors. We see a total of 293,113.38 shares voted for the election of the 4 directors. Now, the total outstanding LLC shares, which represents the full voting power, is 400,000. So, if you do the math, 293,113.38 out of 400,000 is about 73.28%. This means that a strong majority of the LLC members approved the election of these 4 directors. There were no abstentions or votes against these directors. Now for the second proposal, ratifying the appointment of the accounting firm Deloitte and Touch LLP, the numbers are exactly the same. Again, 293,113.38 shares voted. For this proposal, out of a total of 400,000 LLC shares, this again works out to 73.28%. And again, there were no votes to abstain or votes against the appointment. So what does this all mean? Ultimately, the LLC, acting as the sole shareholder of WTI Fund X Incorporated, voted 100% in favor of both proposals. This means that the 4 directors are officially on the board, and Deloitte and Touch S LLP will be the company's auditor for the upcoming fiscal year. There is also a mention of Exhibit 104, which is the cover page interactive data file. This is basically a digital way of presenting the information from the filing, often used for financial data. And finally, the report is signed by Jared S. Thea, who is the Chief Financial Officer. This is standard procedure for these kinds of filings. Now, looking at this filing, the story isn't about the company's financial performance because this 8K focuses on corporate governance and voting. What is really noteworthy is the structure of ownership and voting power. With a single shareholder controlling all the voting rights through an LLC intermediary, it highlights a very concentrated power structure. This isn't necessarily good or bad, but it means that any significant decisions are really made at that LLC member level and then trickle down to the company. The fact that both proposals pass with such a high percentage and with no opposition suggests strong alignment among the LLC members on these key decisions. However, it also means that shareholder activism or minority shareholder interests, which can sometimes bring different perspectives, are not a factor here. The absence of any against or abstain votes on both the director elections and the auditor ratification is a strong signal of consensus. It suggests the members are unified behind the current leadership and the chosen accounting firm in a way. This is similar to how some private equity firms operate, where a small group of investors makes all the key decisions. But in the public market, this level of single point control is less common. The real takeaway here is the efficiency of decision making in this structure, but also the potential lack of diverse viewpoints that could sometimes lead to better outcomes or identify overlooked risks. The risk I am watching is any future disagreement among those LLC members, as that could halt operations given this centralized control. What I am actually looking for is how this unified voting block might shape future strategic decisions for WTI Fund X Incorporated. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like and subscribe and join our Discord community, linked below.